Yeah? What do you want?
My greet. official controller in that middle. So what the controller sees, what the actual game console will see, is the official product. It doesn't really have to know anything beyond that. It doesn't really even know if beyond it there's another product sending the commands through this controller. For all the Xbox or the PlayStation or the Switch believes, it thinks an actual human being is interacting with the buttons on that controller. See, it just thinks that this is how it's being used. It doesn't realize that this is just sort of an in-the-chain system, and behind it is a keyboard basically hiding itself behind the controller. That's effectively what the reality is. Now, of course, I had a bit of a misinformation because their websites, at least Zim, wasn't so forthcoming on it, but it is common knowledge in those communities. I was speaking to a bunch of people who were in the Rainbow Six Siege console community, because that's a community that I'm kind of slowly entering. Now, one of the reasons why I'm even in those communities discussing with people who were bringing this topic up a couple days ago is being in the PC Linux community. I can't play Rainbow Six Siege, okay? That shit does not fucking work on my system. It keeps kicking me out. It might even ban my accounts if I keep trying too hard. So my only, thing is, let's play on Xbox, let's play on PlayStation, because at least then, all I pay is a subscription fee, and I don't have to worry about installing Windows on my system. That's effectively what it came down to. So yes, there was misinformation on my end. But of course, the Reddit poster here on my subreddit goes further into this situation. So where me and this Redditor agree together is that we believe that cheaters in multiplayer games, especially ranked stuff, are scumbags. On this topic, we are 1,000,000% soul bonded, okay? We are brothers in arms, motherfucker. So again, why is Microsoft doing this? They're not doing this to stop Zimmers and strike packers. I didn't even heard of the term strike packers. That's insane. I've heard of Zimmers, I've heard of chromosers, I've heard of wastes of life, but that's a new one for me. What they claim is they want full control of the accessories market, so headphones, controllers, all that shit. Microsoft has to subsidize the Xbox for you to buy it all. Every single dollar they can eke out of you is a huge win for them. And this isn't new information whatsoever. The entire console industry, basically since its inception, as far as I understand, have always sold their consoles at a loss. So to understand that Xbox that you buy, that PlayStation that you buy, that Nintendo that you buy, Switch or whatever, that device is not built at that manufacturer. Like the manufacturing cost versus its retail cost, it's higher, okay? So to understand, this is why like consoles are great entry points. Like if anybody tells me, can I build a gaming PC cheaper than a PlayStation 5? The answer is probably not. Like over time, you'll probably save more money with game sales and whatnot and not paying subscription fees for online services. But the core box is actually cheaper. And the way that like they actually make this into proper business sense is they'll sell you like a $60, $100 controller, they'll sell you video games, they'll sell you parts that they can take little tiny pieces of commission off of. And that's just how these console companies...
Introducing the redesigned Dix, with an expanded assortment of the latest styles and the best gear to improve your game. New interactive experiences and a commitment to expert service. Welcome to an entirely new next-generation Dix.
The Sephora Savings Event is here, so get excited because all the beauty you love is on sale. Get 30% off all Sephora collection. Also, Beauty Insiders get 10% off the rest of your purchase. Shop at Sephora and Sephora at Kohl's.
Gain money out of it. And I don't disregard, I don't doubt that Microsoft may have even implemented this now that I read more into it to actually make up a deficit in losses that they're mounting up by selling Xboxes or some of their more expensive products, right? So again, what are some of the terrible impacts of this? So here they talk about one of the actual points where Microsoft deletes clips off of the Xbox. Apparently, that I didn't even know. I didn't know that Microsoft was literally removing my memories off of their cloud service. Go fuck yourself. One of them is, you're a girl? You have small hands? Been using a DualShock 4 because it's the only controller that's small enough for your hands? Tough shit! Xbox is for the boys only. We don't want no cooties in here. I'll be honest. I think this man is this is the multiverse sitting, okay? This is like a really evil version of me, okay? God damn. We are syncing up together, pal. But of course, want to have one racing wheel because you don't have the money or space for two of them? I actually made this point, by the way, too. No? Go screw yourself. If you want to be an Xbox gamer, better move to a bigger apartment, you poor. Jesus. So again, one of the things is there's a bunch of controllers that work now that will not work in the future unless the manufacturers pay Microsoft money per unit for a license. This is just a cash grab that stifles innovation and raises controller prices. Entrenched incumbent companies like Logitech and similar that make dozens of third-party accessories already have licenses. That's true. They also mention one company known as GullyKit. For innovators like them to stay in the market, ultimately it will hurt them because, again, these costs mount up for especially smaller companies like this. Is Microsoft on its old shit again? They always have been. Come on, brother. Those of you who remember the 90s, remember the Java debacle of Microsoft has always been an evil company that always tries to stifle out its competition, okay? Let's not even pretend otherwise. Back in the 90s, before JavaScript could do a lot of stuff, and before Flash, and before apps, the only way to really have a good interactive element in your website was to have a Java applet. That meant that there was a rectangle on your website, possibly the whole website. That was a Java application. It's like Proto-Flash. It did everything. Games, videos, webcams. This is true. If you ever used the internet back in when I was a kid, when I was a youngin', the internet was far inferior to what it is nowadays, okay? And then they reference how Java was a free standard. They built their market around making hardware that made Java possible to run in the cloud or on the server side. Microsoft was preparing to roll out their ASP platform, which was their web server programming solution, and decided to fuck with Sun, who basically were the heads, the people that created Java, using a technique called embrace, extend, and extinguish. Man, I feel old reading this, Jesus. This term came from emails that were exchanged internally at MS in preparation for performing the scheme. So what they did is, in their browser, which 99% of all internet users use, they had their own version of Java. At first it was fully compatible, they embraced Java, and then Microsoft started giving it features that were different from what Sun's Java did. So basically using IE, Internet Explorer, which was basically the de facto internet browser of that time, suddenly found themselves having to delve deeper into browser settings and install new Sun software to great confusion. If they wanted to do something that required compatibility with Sun software, they would basically extinguish the Sun. Basically, they made it hard for their competitors. Now, to understand, this falls into a long line of antitrust situations that Microsoft has. They've been sued countless times, investigated countless times. This whole story that I read you is actually like just 1% of the entire story. It is worth delving deep into. And honestly, this video today, this Reddit post calling me out, has inspired me into looking further into Microsoft. I've always talked about why I dislike this company. Maybe I should spend the next couple of months really digging into their various lawsuits and just showing you exactly how all the way from the 90s up until now, Microsoft as a company is willing to stifle out its competition and refer to their competition as literal communist devices. I remember what you said about Linux, Baltimore. I'm never going to forget that shit. Gamers love to gaslight themselves when simping for Daddy Big Corp, thinking about all the possibilities and wonderful things that will surely happen. You know, honestly, yeah, I will be honest. We all pretty much did gaslight ourselves. Gamers have some really fucking stupid moments, and yeah, I'll admit this is definitely one of the stupid moments that I've had. Again, don't ever let me believe that Microsoft is good, okay? So anyways, why is Mutahar so fucking lazy? Now this one cuts deep because it's actually true in this situation. Read from some of the other sensationalist locations, okay? I should have went beyond just Reddit. I should have really dug into actually getting my hands on the Zim and Cronus devices. Then I would truly understand that these devices have already found ways to spoof themselves away.
to golf's new #1 destination. Featuring the best brands, services, and expertise to take your game to the next level. Our certified club fitters, PGA and LPGA pros and club techs will help you find the perfect fit. Experience the best in golf. Better your best. Only at Golf Galaxy.
From being detected. Now, I did discuss in my videos that there are things like Mousetrap, which is actually Ubisoft's specific tool that's designed to detect these users. Because again, since they're hiding behind an actual official controller from both Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, they will never be detected. So in reality, what you have to basically do is use, API. You basically have to use detection mechanisms on how input is reported to the game, like Mousetrap, to basically detect if people are using those devices. That's the only counter that you have. So again, he tells me, you know about Microsoft's EEE tactics. I do. You know they're anti-competitive. I do. I've mentioned it. You know about the antitrust lawsuits. I've mentioned it. But suddenly you're so Phil-pilled that you forget it all because Phil Spencer gave you a little head pat and said, now, Muda, this is good for you. Jesus Christ, what the fuck? So again, I just want to say for the record, this is the only thing I'll disagree with. Phil did never pill me, okay? If anything, I don't like Phil Spencer, just because I think that dude is like a fucking snake in sheep's clothing, all right? Just because he leads Microsoft, let's be honest. Anytime Phil Spencer talks about preserving video games, he's lying to you. That man has a console on the market that still requires you to connect to the internet just to actually use it. When you buy an Xbox, if you don't have an internet connection, you have basically bought electronic waste, all right? Now again, this is me just correcting myself. Obviously, I was called out in this post, and I'll be real. People did not like the fact that he wasn't respectful, but I am totally deserving of the disrespect here. I made a mistake, and honestly, I made this video to correct that mistake and to further inform you guys about this situation. So it begs the question, really, Microsoft is basically doing this to get further ahead and lock down these console spaces without ever letting the third parties come in for, providing gamers more options, which I think is ultimately a net loss. Now, this is something that both Sony, Microsoft, and I think by extension even Nintendo are slowly doing, and it really makes me just question why I even have a gaming console to begin with. And this is me extrapolating, I really do think this is the last generation for disk drives, and at this moment in time, the next generation of video games will just be digital only, as sad as that sounds. Alan Wake 2 just dropped, one of my most favorite games ever. It's a game that has no physical release. Now, obviously, they priced the game down to reflect that, which is super odd to me, but it's just another showcase as to what the future of gaming necessarily holds, okay? I think that the more time goes on, the less and less these consoles will have any actual positives to me other than plug and play. If I can't preserve my games through a disc and have an offline version of those games, then I might as well just be sticking to PC gaming anyways. I think looking at this situation, Microsoft is definitely in the wrong, but honestly, even with this information that I'm giving you, I don't think that most of the gaming marketplace is going to care. Most people will still believe that this is out there to stop cheaters, but in reality, the moment November 12th hits, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 will have the same amount of cheaters that are using those Zim products, those Cronus products, and are using keyboard and mice, also with the crazy aim assist that the controller provides to dominate those players on day one of that game. That's never going to be fixed. And ultimately, I don't know what Microsoft could do outside of maybe pressuring them with a lawsuit, which I'm pretty sure they've tried, but I don't think Microsoft actually has a case to stand on in that specific situation. And I just want to say that anybody that gets mad at this person for being a little bit harsh, I'm a big boy. I deserve to be treated harshly, okay? All right, because I made a mistake, all right? And I'm going to own up to that mistake, and this is a Mudahar enjoyer. If they didn't enjoy my content, they wouldn't go onto my subreddit and make that lengthy post and call me out and correct the information. And the most that I can do, the most respectful thing that I can do for that person and for you guys is to correct my mistake and spread this message for the people watching. Ladies and gentlemen, that's really all that I can say about this. That said, though, tomorrow we're looking into we're looking into some shady information stealing applications. And by the weekend, we hopefully should have another deep web video. So look forward to a couple things, ladies and gentlemen. I got all of the Metal Gear Solid 2 stuff done, so I think that video is pretty much on track for this month. So this weekend when I head to New York and I come back, we're going to have a banger of a time. I think we might actually have another 4-hour Metal Gear video. So if you miss that kind of content, there it is. Another big update, I've been reading my Reddit, and I think that I have made a fair bit of extra drama content too, like, basically looking at the recent stories. And I know that some people don't enjoy it. Obviously, it gets a lot of viewership, and there are people that watch me that do enjoy that content, but I feel like I don't want that to be the most significant part of my channel, ever. And that's why I have made at least a commitment to do more videos in regards to horror-themed situations on the internet. We are looking into some videos that definitely will get demonetized. I don't even care about the demonetization aspect of it. I really only care about like the YouTube channel guideline strike part about it, because we are looking into like this one 4chan story, which is really, really dark. We're talking like murder dark. We're talking like without a guideline strike. But I'm trying the best that I can. And beyond that, the Metal Gear video is probably the least stressful video because that's just a video game. And discussing that is honestly really, really fun. Everything that I make is really fun, the content, at least to me. It's just some pieces of content, like deep web stuff, even this weekend, requires me to comb like 4, 5, 6 times to make sure that I don't leak something that I can't, okay? Because as much as I complain about YouTube's community guidelines and TOS, I try to stick to it as clean as I can. And while there are some users that get away with some of the wildest shit on the platform, I like to play within the rules, even if that means censoring a bunch of things that I really don't think need to be censored, even on this platform, but I'm kind of getting into a tangent. That said, though, ladies and gentlemen, made a mistake, cleared it up. Anyways, I'm out.
And welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all having a good day, as always.
Thank you.
Now, for those who actually are cultured with what's going on here, for those who actually know what's going on, I'm actually Walter White. If you do not know who Walter...
Bad news about the Legacy Aquarium. It's been my dream to open up right after Christmas so that it could be open for between Christmas and New Year. The people that are traveling and have time off of work, just been something I want to do. Some news that I've been getting over the last couple of days. I think that the day after Christmas is now becoming more like a pipe dream. Let me go ahead and break it down. I told you about the domino effect. If one thing doesn't go, then the next thing doesn't go. And on the back of the koi pond here, where the reptile section is, there's actually going to be a giant enclosure. I've talked about it, over 20 foot long for salt and pepper. Well, unfortunately, I just heard that enclosure probably isn't even going to have the glass in until sometime about mid-December, because it has to come from China, because it's like...
The Detroit Pistons have one of the most young and talented teams.
So the clock strikes 4 p.m. The NFL trade deadline is passed, and the Baltimore Ravens do not make a move. But we're going to talk about why they didn't make a move.
What's up, guys? So consider joining our locals if you like the...
Beauty Insiders, pop by a Sephora at Kohl's near you for 30% off Sephora collection, plus 10% off your Sephora beauty purchase, now through November 6th.
The story is becoming a nightmare.
we catch predators nationwide. It's not possible without you joining our locals. On locals, you get to see over 20 catches early and completely uncensored. You get to see live predator confrontations as they happen, and you get to support a movement that has an arrest in 43 different states and convictions in 24. We do treble in those and catch the sickest. It's only $7 a month. You get more early content than Rumble. We do big content dumps every single month.
Good to see you, Hefe.
Good to be back. Sponsored by Cook Unity. Hello, my beautiful watchers, and welcome. Sponsored by Cook Unity. Hello, my beautiful watchers, and welcome to my final video on the Chronicles of Narnia. Almost 5 years, 3 lost in adaptations, and 3 video book essays after beginning this quest, I have finally come to the end. The Last Battle by C.S. Lewis. Right up until the end, Lewis continued his trend of writing these books fast enough to publish one every year from 1950 to 1956, which means I took almost as long to summarize these books as it took him to create them. I procrastinate. This 7th edition to the Chronicles is almost exclusively told from the perspective of a native human Narnian, a narrative choice shared by only one other book in the series. If this is your first time coming across my videos on this series, it might be beneficial for you to start at the beginning, but the TLDR of the things to keep in mind is C.S. Lewis was big into Christianity when he wrote these books. The character who started out as an allegory for Jesus was eventually revealed to literally be Jesus, who is choosing to look like a lion for his own reasons, and you can buy the merch that I made to capitalize on this development. And finally, despite there being literally no subtext to support it, I adamantly ship Eustace and Prince Caspian. Right, let's synopsisize. This story, like so many countless other classic literature, starts with an ape being a dick to a donkey. Cliché, I know, but there it is. Somewhere along the western border of Narnia, a simian named Shift is spending his days manipulating Puzzle, his dim-witted equine companion, into doing all of his work for him, until one day a lion's skin, discarded by a hunter upstream, washes down the river to them. C.S. Lewis makes sure he spends a good amount of time describing just how difficult it is for Puzzle to retrieve it from under the waterfall, including him nearly drowning, and how mentally abusive Shift is towards him. Shift then turns the skin into a crappy but maybe passable in very bad light line disguise that he forces Puzzle to wear and browbeats him into agreeing to pretend to be Aslan so Shift can use religious fervor to take over Narnia. We then cut to Tyrion, no relation, the King of Narnia, unbeknownst to him the last King of Narnia, chillaxing in the sunshine with his best friend, a unicorn named Jewel, and ruminating on the recent rumours that Aslan has returned. A centaur named Runeward comes galloping up to him to announce that he's been doing some astrology divination, as his kind are wont to do, and the results have been disheartening, to say the least. Tyrion is skeptical, but these portents of doom are almost immediately confirmed when a dryad comes staggering up to them and manages to just get out that hers and her family's trees were being chopped down before dropping dead, as unfortunately Narnian dryads are known to do when their tree is felled. Tyrion is filled with so much kingly wrath he doesn't even wait to gather an army or even a squad before charging off with Jewel to save his subjects, though he does have the brains to ask Runeward to do it and follow them ASAP. When they get to the Western Front, a water rat informs him that Aslan has decreed that all the felled lumber is going to be floated out to sea and sold to the Calorman Empire. As you might remember from The Horse and His Boy, Calorman is a human land heavily based on the Middle East, and it's not great. It's a expansionist empire that thrives on cruelty and slavery. Indeed, Tyrion witnesses a band of Calormen in the process of enslaving a group of talking Narnian horses, which makes him see all kinds of red. Jewel, were these men, armed? I don't think so, sire. Ah, yes, I do actually feel pretty bad about that.
And now, a quick word about this video's sponsor. Cook Unity is the first chef-to-meal delivery service made up of over 70 chefs who believe that great food should be for everyone. Each week, these award-winning chefs craft hundreds of globally inspired meals with vegetarian and gluten-free options, which is real good for your boy. Cook Unity meals are never frozen, so they arrive fresh, and the menu rotates every week, so there's always something new to try. This week, I've enjoyed duck, rib, and steak meals. Each come with cooking instructions if you want to be all fancy, or microwave instructions if you want to be like me. You can also see which chef has worked on which meal right on the box, so you know exactly who you have to thank for the delicious healthy goodness. For example, tonight I'm eating grilled grass-fed ribeye steak with roasted broccoli and pea-wee potatoes, which was made by Brandon Kida from Los Angeles. The subscription is also flexible, so you can pause, skip weeks, or cancel at any time. And not for nothing, but my meals were delivered in this legit really nice insulated cooler bag, which is a touch I cannot help but appreciate. So, go to cookunity.com/noble50 or click the link in the description and use my code NOBLE50 to get 50% off your first order of Cook Unity meals to try them out for yourself. In fact, he's so guilt-ridden over this casual murder and the possibility that he was thwarting Aslan's will by doing it, he and Jules surrender themselves to the next clawmen they come across. As I've unfortunately had to comment on in episodes past, speaking as a modern reader, C.S. Lewis's depiction of Asian individuals is, terrible. Then the dark men came round them in a thick crowd, smelling of garlic and onions, their white eyes flashing dreadfully in their brown faces. They put a rope halter around Jules' neck. They took the king's sword away and tied his hands behind his back. One of the clawmen, who had a helmet instead of a turban and seemed to be in command, snatched the gold circlet off Tyrion's head and hastily put it away somewhere amongst his clothes.
The book was written in the 40s.
But buckle up, my beautiful watchers, because this is barely scratching the surface of the casual racism in this book. Anyways, actually, it's revealed later that he's been in on one for a while, but the lion skin was just the last thing they needed to make his bid for power. The clawmen had snuck a military force into Narnia dressed as merchants, which are now mobilized under the expedition leader, Rishta Khan. They also apparently have a sly ginger cat on their side, though it seems like he was just an amoral opportunist who was happening by. At Khan's behest, a very hungover shift explains to a crowd of gathered animals that Aslan, who is staying in the barn behind him and only coming out at night when the lighting is really bad and insisting that no one look too closely at him, has revealed to him that he is not only the god of Narnia, he is also Tash, the god that they worship in Calormen. Tashlan, as he will henceforth be known, has decreed that all of the Narnians will have to voluntarily become slaves of the Empire, doing whatever they're naturally good at. The horses will pull the carts, the dwarfs will go and work in the mines, etc., etc. Tyrion, who is apparently the only person in Narnia who isn't gullible as all hell, realizes that this is just a very clever invasion and calls them out for fibbing. So, Shift orders that Jewel be taken away and the king be tied to a tree while he figures out what to do with him. While some loyal mice sneak some food and water to him, King Tyrion still gets a bit delirious as the night goes on and starts thinking about all the times that his ancestors were bailed out of their problems by trans-dimensional children, and wishes they would come and do their thing for him as well. He then has a vision of seeing the Pevensies sitting around a table along with Eustace, Jill, and the elderly Diggory and Polly who witnessed Narnia's birth in their youth. Though he can't speak to them, they appear to see him and recognize him as a Narnian before he wakes up. Shortly later, Jill and Eustace return the favor and appear before him and free him from his bonds. Interestingly, it's been over a week since they briefly saw him, because the passage of time in Narnia versus Earth has never given a fuck if it makes sense or not. Tyrion introduces himself properly and marvels at him meeting the people who travelled with his ancestors 200 years before. In a moment of C.S. Lewis self-awareness, the kids mention it does kind of suck that every time they visit Narnia, everyone that they knew and loved has been super dead for quite a while. They're a little confused about how they got there. The plan had been for Peter and Edmund to sneak onto the land that Professor Diggory used to own before he lost his house and it got demolished, and dig up the green and yellow rings from the magician's nephew so they could get to Narnia that way. However, the last thing that Eustace remembers is waiting at the train station for them to return and noticing that their train was coming around the corner awfully fast. They put this confusion aside though so they can deal with the emergency at hand. Tyrion leads them to a Narnian border fort that he keeps stocked with weapons and armor, where, in order to do some espionage, they dress in Calormen chainmail, and, well, they,
I, however, kept a few suits of it in readiness, for I never knew when I or my friends might have reason to walk unseen in the Tisrock's land. And look upon this stone bottle. In this there is a juice which, when we have rubbed it on our hands and faces, it will make us brown as Colormans.
Oh, hurrah, said Jill. Disguises! I love disguises! Tyrion showed them how to pour out a little of the juice onto their palms and their hands, and then rub it well over their faces and necks, right down to the shoulders, and then on their hands right up to the elbows. He did the same himself.
After this was hardened on us, he said, we may wash in water and it will not change. Nothing but oil and ashes will make us white Narnians again.
Yep. Narnian blackface.
The book was written in the 40s.
I'm not sure it's actually within my power to fully accentuate just how poorly this book is aged. BT dubs, their disguises are useful for like 3 seconds because every time they meet any Colorman, Tyrion ends up knocking them out or killing them almost immediately. They rescue Jewel and, as an added bonus, manage to get a very ashamed and apologetic puzzle out of the barn. They run into some Colorman slavers escorting an army of dwarfs south, and after the usual bare minimum attempt at talking, Tyrion stops chopping heads off with his sword, and Eustace manages to off his opponent too. Despite the Earth Kids having killed someone in at least half the books, it still sometimes takes me aback when these 20th century children straight up ice people. Anyways, the dwarven response to their rescue isn't everything they were hoping for.
You're free, Master Dwarves. Now you can join us and fight to liberate Narnia in the name of the real Aslan. Ah, fuck that. We are sick of this shit. We are sick of Colormans and white witches and snake witches and holy lands and human kings are supposed to rule us. We're inventing atheism and, I don't know, libertarianism. Come on, lads, let's go home. Dwarfs for dwarfs from now on.
Only one loyal dwarf decides to join their group, which is just in time for him to witness a huge winged creature flying overhead, partly made of smoke and partly made of nightmares. It's theorized that the demon god Tash really has been summoned by the Colorman and is coming to make a personal appearance. An eagle arrives from the Narnian capital of Cair Paravel with a, update for the king. Sire, the Colormans have invaded by sea. A massive fleet carrying a host of soldiers are already here.
By the lion, what of Cair Paravel?
Already taken.
The Narnian army?
Completely wiped out.
Room with the centaur?
Slain in battle.
My goldfish Goldie?
Eaten by the cat. My cat choked on the goldfish, sire.
Cool. Well, I'm going to go make a heroic last stand. Anyone else want to join me? Heroic last stand? Heroic last stand? Excellent. That's our plans for the weekend, then.
Yep, after thousands of years and generations of heroes laying down their lives to protect it, the Kingdom of Narnia is completely destroyed off-page while its king was busy wearing blackface. A somewhat ignoble and anticlimactic end, I have to admit. They return to the fort in order to, return to White Narnians. As mentioned, Tyrion is fully out of ideas, so he suggests to the Earthlings that they return home, while he goes and rescues the local Narnians from the Ape Sway, and then head off to die with honour against the Colorman main host. Eustace and Jill elect to stay and help, so the party make their way back to the stable, just in time to witness Shift, the cat and the Colorman, attempting to sell everyone on a convoluted story to cover up for not having a donkey line anymore. The only ones brave enough to challenge this and stand up to the Colormans are the recently liberated atheist dwarfs. Unfortunately, they do this and all subsequent acts of defiance by hurling racial slurs at them.
The book was written in the 40s.
You know, everyone loves the clip of Troy coming back to the room full of chaos, but I'm certainly getting a lot of mileage out of this one. Anyways, the baddies' plan was to insist that Taslan isn't willing to come outside anymore, but anyone can go and visit him inside the stable if they don't mind facing his hungry lion judgment. Then they have the cat go inside and pretend to have a nice chat with the multi-god, and secretly kill anyone else who attempts it. This plan does not go as intended, however, as the cat comes running out of the stable, so terrified it has apparently devolved into a non-talking animal, and runs away forever. The character best described as the one good Colorman then enters the story. A young officer insists on going into the stable next to meet his god, over to Khan's objections, and appears at first to meet an equally terrible fate. Khan, until this point not really a believer, starts to realize that he has fucked up, and tries to start throwing random animals through the stable door as sacrifices to Tash, but King Leroy Jenkins has once again stood still for as long as he's able and charges in. Unfortunately, once again, his hopes that the animals of Narnia would rally to his side proves to be way too optimistic, as most of them just hang back or run away. It's worth noting that the majority of the very few who do come to his aid are dogs, because they are the goodest boys in any dimension. The heroes make a valiant effort and even drive to Khan's men back at first, and manage to throw Shiv through the door to take his own medicine, but things get pretty dire when the Kalorman reinforcements arrive. There's then this unintentionally hilarious moment when all of the talking horses of Narnia come galloping over the top of the hill to save the king. And then the dwarfs decide that they're just going to attack both sides and completely wipe the newcomers out with arrows. I know it was meant to be this big tragic thing, but imagine if the riders of Rohan were making their big heroic charge into Helm's Deep and the music was swelling and then they just got absolutely wrecked by archers. All the Narnians can do is curse at the dwarves, but the Kalorman take being shot at rather personally and murder almost all of them, leaving only 11 survivors who are bound and thrown through the stable door because that's just what you do to people you don't like now. FYI, if the number of surviving dwarfs was a reference to Snow White, Lewis doesn't do anything to drive that point home. The Narnians continue to fight a losing battle, and they are one by one killed or pushed into the stable until only Tyrion remains, deciding to take at least to Khan with him by dragging him through the door. Once inside, he realizes he's not inside at all, but in a beautiful field, standing before Aslan himself, the full set of Pevensey kids and friends looking fabulous in super fashionable Narnian duds, and Tash, the most horrifying monster imaginable. Tash is allowed to grab Naughty Boy to Khan before Aslan tells him to bugger off, and Tyrion introduces himself to the rest of the gang. It is here that we touch upon the single most controversial thing in the entire Chronicles of Narnia. You know, besides the racism, which we just don't talk about. Sir, said Tyrion when he had greeted all of these, if I have read the Chronicles aright, there should be another. Has not your majesty two sisters? Where is Queen Susan? My sister Susan, answered Peter shortly and gravely, is no longer a friend of Narnia. Yes, said Eustace, and whenever you've tried to get her to come and talk about Narnia, or do anything about Narnia, she says, what wonderful memories you have! Fancy, you're still thinking about all those funny games we used to play when we were children. Oh, Susan, said Jill. She's interested in nothing nowadays except nylons and lipsticks and invitations. She always was a jolly sight too keen on being grown up. Grown up indeed, said Lady Polly. I wish she would grow up. She wasted all of her school time waiting to be the age she is now, and she'll waste all the rest of her life trying to stay that age. Her whole idea is to race into the silliest time of one's life as quickly as she can, and then stop there as long as she can. Well, we don't have to talk about that now, said Peter. Look, here are lovely fruit trees. Let us taste them. So to summarise, Susan, who I believe is about 21 at this point, has convinced herself that all of their adventures in Narnia were imaginary, so she can focus on having a social life. As a result, she didn't go on the rings heist, wasn't on the train, and isn't here in Narnia now, and doesn't show up for the rest of the book either. We shall come back to this. Let's face it, it is somewhat inconceivable to attempt a discussion of this book without coming back to this. Anyways, Peter mentions that the last thing that he remembers was feeling a big old jolt on the train before he ended up here, and mentions that by pure coincidence, he was pretty sure that the Pevensey parents were on that train as well, but once again they put this mystery aside for later. BT dubs, it's also mentioned that Shit the Ape was eaten by Tash, which everyone agrees is a good thing, because fuck that asshole. Speaking of comeuppance, the 11 dwarfs that were thrown through the door are nearby, but all they can see and feel is the dingy-ass stable that everyone was expecting. Aslan can summon up all sorts of fine foods and wines for them, but they still perceive it as straw and rotten turnips and other barn-related things. Aslan implies that this purgatory is self-inflicted and is a result of their lack of faith. They chose cunning instead of belief, so they get to rot in an imaginary barn for all of eternity, I guess. A tad harsh, but they were kind of racist and they did shoot a ton of innocent animals, so fuck them. Aslan then goes back out through the stable door to Narnia and starts yelling, time, 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 and by time he means it's time for the end of the world, baby! or the creatures of Narnia come running up to Aslan and are presumably divided up between the sinful and the pure, as half get to go through the stable door, while the other half devolve into regular animals and run back into the ending world. There is no mention of any humans though, so I guess fuck the Arklanders and Telmarines. Then yeah, it's Apocalypse Central. The extra giant called Father Time wakes up and starts wrecking shit. The stars fall out of the sky, the sun goes supernova before being squished by Father Time, dragons tear up the forests, the mountains fall and the seas rise. Bye-bye Narnia. Back through the stable door in the still perfectly lovely world, the goop comes across the hashtag #NotOrcLawman guy, who it turns out is okay after all, but is now regretting his choice of deity. Fortunately, Aslan explains that it's all Gucci. It is false. Not because he and I are one, but because we are opposites. I take to me these services which thou hast done for him. For I and he are of such different kinds that no service which is vile can be done to me, and none which is not vile can be done to him. Therefore, if any man swears by Tash and keeps his oath for the oath's sake, then it is by me that he has truly sworn, though he know it not, and it is I who reward him. And if any man do a cruelty in my name, then though he says the name Aslan, it is Tash whom he serves, and by Tash his deed is accepted. Dost thou understand, child? Yeah, even though he was fantasy Islamic, because he was doing good things, he was actually fantasy Christian all along. Considering the fate of the atheist dwarfs, I guess this means that an opposing religion is still better than no religion at all. And I am not going to lie to you guys, this is the point where the plot gets really weird, even by the Chronicles of Narnia standards. First of all, everyone realizes that they can't feel fear, even if they try to, and they can't get tired, so they use this new superpower to run like crazy into the west to explore this new world, until they come to some golden gates on a mountaintop where they meet, well, everyone. Everyone who has ever featured in a book is there. Reapercheap, Mr. Tumnus, Caspian, who I'm sure Eustace was very pleased to see, Truffle Hunter the Badger, the cab driver and his wife who became the Adam and Eve characters in The Magician's Nephew. Everyone. So you might be thinking, oh, this is obviously Aslan's country from the Voyage of the Dawn Treader and the Silver Chair, but surprisingly no. For in the distance they see an unconquered and much nicer looking Cair Paravel. They're actually in Narnia Plus, or Narnia Premium. Red Narnia. It's better Narnia for paid subscribers. The general idea that they try to get across in universe is Narnia is like a physics-defying onion. There's layers of Narnia inside Narnia, and each new Narnia is actually bigger and better than the one before. Also, apparently this version of Narnia is physically connected to the upgraded version of our world too, as they can see a better England in the distance with the professor's not demolished house still there. So while it's confusing to me, it does appear to be quite a happy ending, so Lucy, who is used to how these adventures go by now, starts preparing herself. Why do you look sad, my child? Well, the quest is over. This is usually the point where you send us home, Aslan. Oh, you don't need to worry about that. You and your entire family, except for Susan, are dead as the dodo. This is your afterlife. What? Yes, indeed. The jolt you all felt on the train was it making a spectacular high-speed crash, killing everyone on board and everyone at the station. Yeah! Woo! Yeah! All right! Woo! Yeah! And that, my beautiful watchers, is basically the end. It's hinted that Aslan then transforms into regular Jesus, and it's explained that everything the kids had done in their world or regular Narnia was nothing compared to the eternal adventure they're about to embark on now. It's even written that they lived happily ever after, which is a bit of a well actually moment if ever there was one.
Dawn Power Wash has 3 cleaning boosters not found in traditional dish soaps. It's more than soap, it's Power Wash.
Oh yeah, every hero who has ever appeared in these books goes off to enjoy the most unimaginably amazing existence ever for all eternity. Everyone except for Susan. Nope, not Susan. Because she liked nylons and lipstick, like everything that she had done for Narnia in the past. Susan did not get to go to what is, for all intents and purposes, heaven, because she started believing it wasn't real and became a bit of a socialite. Over the years, this plot point has become known as the problem of Susan amongst fans of the books. Bear with me, my beautiful watchers, because while it may seem at first glance to be the most batshit insane, unnecessarily dark as fuck ending for a character imaginable, and I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you, there's quite a lot more to it than that. Now you might be wondering, how on earth did Susan manage to convince herself that Narnia didn't exist when she spent 15 years helping to rule it? But you have to keep in mind that these books have been consistently clear on the fact that that whole thing did not have any lasting psychological effects on the kids, a plot point the movies diverged on that I brought up in my Lost in Adaptation episodes. I don't know if this makes it better or worse, but Lewis claimed that this was not a last-minute decision, and this was the ending planned out for Susan all along, referencing several occasions where Susan had denied feeling Aslan's presence or displayed more grown-up tendencies than the other children. And that does seem to be the big sin that Lewis is ascribing to her, the key character flaw that led to her loss of faith. Wanting to grow up was the crime he sentenced Susan for. It's easy to read a misogynistic overtone into the condemnation of lipstick and nylons, and that might well have been a factor, but look at how much more time he spends on the rant that Polly goes on immediately afterwards about Susan frittering away her youth and wanting to be older. There is some hope, though. After the series completion, one addendum that Lewis consistently stuck to right up until his death was that he never intended for Susan to be definitively kept out of heaven forever. She would have every chance to realize her mistake and every opportunity to find her faith in furry Jesus or regular Jesus again before she died. BT Dub, say what you like about C.S. Lewis, he spent enough time responding to children's fan mail to fill volumes of books, and it looks like he actively encouraged young writers by giving them permission to write fanfiction of his IP. Because of this attitude, it's been theorized that Susan's ending represented a little bit of a author insert situation, as Lewis apparently also lost his faith in his early life and didn't get back into the whole church thing until he was in his 30s. So, the problem of Susan solved, potentially just a delay on the road to heaven, not a roadblock, ultimately no harm done? Unfortunately, no, we are just getting started. In 2019, author Neil Gaiman helped put words to some unaddressed issues when he weighed in on the subject in the opening short story of his graphic novel, The Problem of Susan and Other Things. His comic follows the last days of a Professor Hastings, who it's heavily implied was either the IRL Susan that C.S. Lewis wrote about, or a woman whose early life was so similar she's a reliable stand-in for her. Gaiman drew attention to the fact that Susan's life was probably not going to provide a lot of opportunities for reflection and rediscovery of the innocence of youth she had so shamefully rejected and the faith she owed so much to. And it almost certainly wasn't going to involve a lot of nylons and lipstick either, because her life was going to be hell on earth. Getting over losing her entire family at such a young age alone was going to be a much bigger issue for her to deal with, and you have to keep in mind she's now all alone in a time period that didn't allow for excessive independence for women. I mean, she's not even going to be able to open her own bank account. He even highlighted the trauma she must have gone through having to identify the bodies of her siblings and parents after the crash. Another point that Gaiman brings up is how disproportionate the punishment seems to be compared to the crime, and rightly so. One of the problems that the problem of Susan inadvertently highlights is a very common, very real critique of Christianity's teachings, i.e., what kind of all-powerful God, who we are told loves us like a father, would be so insecure he would damn someone for eternity simply for not believing in him. All that said, though, I do have to mention that Gaiman's book also includes a nightmare about an anthropomorphic Aslan devouring the Pevensey children right before having public sex with the White Witch, and an unpublished Pamela Lyndon Travers book in which it's revealed that God did not create and is slightly afraid of Mary Poppins, because Neil Gaiman is always going to Neil Gaiman. Now, I personally, and I stress that word because we're well into subjective territory here, I personally think it's up to interpretation if Aslan had caused all of the true believers to be on the crashing train so they could receive their eternal reward, or it had simply been a genuine unfortunate accident and he was just accepting them into heaven as a result. That really comes down to how much you believe God's will rules over everyone's lives, which digresses into this whole debate about free will that I just cannot get into right now. But assuming he was not the instigator of their deaths, assuming that there is some room in Christianity, allegorical or otherwise, for humans to choose their own path in life, then Aslan didn't exactly deny heaven to Susan, she denied it to herself by turning her back on Narnia and not going with her family when Narnia called for aid. Aslan couldn't force her to go on the trip, and he can't just kill her so she's not left behind. As much as it sucks, Aslan had to let Susan make her own mistakes. It really sucks that the consequences were so massive, but that's life sometimes. Incidentally, I know it's weird saying not dying was the punishment, but remember we're talking about getting to live in a wonderland of superpowers and great food forever. So, is the problem of Susan solved now? No! There is still stuff to talk about. Because, while there might be some wiggle room regarding if Aslan had treated Susan like absolute shit, there is no way to deny that C.S. Lewis did. I mean, the most obvious first, none of it needed to happen, and any argument that it did would be, as Dan Olson would describe it, a Tholian argument. Even taking that into account, Susan's absence is in no way required or even relevant to the plot of the book. It's an absolutely superfluous twist, making all of the before-mentioned horrible implications for her so much crueler. There's also the issue of just how dismissive the old git was towards Susan. The excerpt I read before, the half paragraph of her friends and family being judgmental about her life choices, was the entirety of Susan's part in this last book. Now, to be fair to her family, this moment occurred before they knew that they were dead, and the book ends pretty much immediately after Aslan spills the beans, so we cannot know for sure that their first words weren't, "Wait, shit, what about Susan? Are we never going to see her again? Fuck you, Lion!" But again, these in-universe defenses for the characters don't let C.S. Lewis himself off the hook. He could very easily have kept the narrative going for a few seconds longer so we could get a clear indication that he gave any kind of a flying fart about Susan Pevensey. While Susan was consistently the least developed Pevensey kid, she was still a major character in 2 books, one of which was by far the most popular of the whole series. She meant something to people. When my siblings and I were very young, we played Narnia games, and my big sister often played Susan. So, this sheer lack of interest that Lewis seems to be displaying towards her is upsetting. The most ironic thing about the problem of Susan is, despite Lewis condemning her as a silly, conceited young woman, Susan and her failings are most definitely not the one with a problem. Christianity potentially has a problem with contradictory teachings. Aslan might have a problem with the scope of control he has over people, the other Pevensies could have a problem with supreme self-absorption, and C.S. Lewis certainly has a problem with either a lack of empathy towards his own creation or a failure to get his meaning across in his writing. But Susan's only crime was going through the same confusion and search for identity that all human beings go through at her age, and she deserved better. Right, sorry about that. I do have other things to say about this book besides justice for Susan. In fact, cards on the table, Susan's fate wasn't even what put me off this book as a kid. I was told Susan bad, and my easily led child brain just accepted Susan bad. No, what bothered me, even though I didn't have the words for it back
God damn it.
then was it felt such a narratively unsatisfying ending. Now I realise that a book about the end of a world has to involve some level of loss, but did the heroes have to go out on such a spectacular L? Narnia as a kingdom is just absolutely smooshed. They're basically bailed out of complete subjugation by the apocalypse. And I just don't love it. Doesn't matter if you eventually completely drop the ball in life, because heaven will still be nice as a message. Like, am I alone in thinking that one last victory would have been a much more gratifying thing to go out on than the final defeat? I just feel like it sucks that Narnia went out on a whimper, not a bang. Now, you could potentially see it as a sort of Kobayashi Maru kind of test, you know. It is a win to never give up, even when victory is impossible and death is certain, but most of Narnia doesn't even rise to that occasion. In his heroic last stand, Tyrion is heartbroken that he's abandoned by most of his subjects besides a few wild creatures and the good dogs, leaving him to, as far as they knew, die alone outside a stable. The Narnia he couldn't save almost doesn't seem worth saving. Tangent warning, but it also made me wonder why this hadn't happened centuries ago. It was specifically mentioned in The Horse and His Boy, which takes place during the golden years of High King Peter's reign, that the only reason the Colomban Empire hadn't invaded Narnia yet is they couldn't reach it by land because of a really big desert, and the Narnians had a really good navy that could hold them off at sea. However, it's also noted in the Voyage of the Dawn Treader that even that mighty ship paled in comparison to the ships that Narnia used to have, and its navy wasn't much to speak of anymore. So, why did the racist stereotypes wait until the end of the world to take what they could obviously have taken at any time? I know. Ooh, well done, Dom. You found a plot hole in a children's book series. I just like fantasy geopolitics, okay? I'm that sort of nerd. Anyways, getting back to why I never liked this book, even as a kid and even ignoring the problem of Susan, I remember thinking it was fucked up that the happy ending involved all of the Pevensey kids dying super young. Yes, it does work out pretty well for them in the long run, but couldn't coming to Deluxe Narnia have waited until they died of old age after long, happy lives on Earth? Why rush them into heaven, C.S. Lewis? Speaking of short lifespans, because the characters are always dropping exact figures about how long it's been between books, we actually know exactly how long Narnia existed for, and the answer might surprise you. In Narnian time, it was 2,555 years from the creation of the world to its destruction. In Earth years, 49. Even leaving aside the relative lifespan, even within Narnia, that seems like a shockingly short amount of time for a world to exist. So, in conclusion, I can't actually remember if I've said this before, but, and this is one of my potentially hotter takes, I am of the opinion that C.S. Lewis peaked very heavily at The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, and no subsequent book in the series came close to recapturing its magic. One positive thing I will say for this book, though, its cover fucks surprisingly hard. I've always been aware that unicorns have horns, but you don't often think about them actually shanking a bitch with them, Props to Lewis for that. Thank you for joining me, my beautiful watchers. By the way, I lied about this being my last foray into the world of Narnia for dramatic effect. Obviously, I'm going to cover the Netflix adaptations when they're finally done. I hear Greta Gerwig has been tapped to write and direct the first two, so that is promising. Please don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and leave a comment, so the hungry monster that is the YouTube algorithm doesn't devour my channel, and I have to get a job at the Renaissance Fair being that awkward guy who tries to remind people about health and safety without breaking character. Ho, my lords and ladies, forget not that the sun beats heavily upon us, and one must top up one's protective ointments regularly. And remember, though thou may be brave of heart, thou must also be hydrated of body on thy quest. Huzzah! Hey, YouTuber, Nobody cares, Dom, or they would have liked, shared, subscribed, and commented when they had the chance. Yeah, I guess that's right.
Like, share, and subscribe. Also, go and watch Dominic. It's a good channel. Okay, wait.
Joining us now is a man who could be a doctor, Lisa.
Love you, Doctor.
And the only reason why we're saying that is because what his body is doing is something that Noah.
We've got no quarter.
Hey, at least we got 4 subscribers. Getting better every day.
Eh?
So this wireless company, Visible, is making people think about all these things they do not need to think about. I mean, hidden fees,
overages,
transparency,
contracts,
yada, 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 right? Sorry, what was that? Yada, yada, you know. Uh-huh.
But we know how to fix that.
Fix the phone plan.
No,
absolutely not. Fix our image. Image is everything, Jason.
Yada, yada, yada. That's why we want you. See, we want to portray you in a completely new way. Like this. Would you consider shaving your beard?
Then maybe you turn, you look into a camera and you say, I hate yada yada. And I love that this company doesn't have any of that. Do you two know what yada yada is? It's the details, Jason.
Boring.
Yeah, boring. Do you have an activation fee?
Only when you activate.
Do you offer hotspot service to everyone? I wouldn't call it hot. How many people do I need to get the best price? Only 4?
Have a family.
You have a family? You see, you shouldn't yada yada that. Because details matter. For instance, yada yada, I'm in an ad right now. For Visible. Visible has no activation fees, no need for a family plan, no hoops to jump through. Just one line wireless on Verizon's network for $25 a month each month. That's it. Taxes and fees included. And yada yada, I'm not shaving the beard.
I did a poll the other day and I asked y'all specifically which video you'd like to see next, and with a resounding
What the hell, boy?
yo, pause on that, that was crazy. 40, I think 42, 43, 44, it was 40-something% of the votes. You wanted a video on Cooler. Now, for those of y'all that have not been up to date with the lore of Dragon Ball Z, Cooler is one of the coolest. You see what I did there? Is this mysterious characters of all time? Not only is he Frieza's big brother, he is also the true, and I mean the truest of true racist. You feel me? On top of that, he has some of the craziest drip that I've ever seen. Look at this dude's color palette. Bro has watched nothing but Barney his entire life and channeled it into his skin. But alright, my fault. Is this mysterious? Before we even get into the video, though, I know that y'all are going to tell me there's a part 2, bro. Well, my man Cooler got the whole Iron Man suit on. Bro thought he was Tony Stark. And I'm definitely going to cover that. But I need at least 6,000 likes. No cap. Our story starts with the backstory of Bardock and Frieza. One that we're all familiar with. You see, Frieza is terrible and prejudiced. And he, by the way, if I accidentally call Frieza a she at any time in this video, I apologize. When I was a child, a young adolescent, your boy Sin thought that Frieza was a bitch. Yeah, but that's besides the point. You see, Frieza wanted to basically eradicate all the Saiyans based on a rumor that there was going to be a Super Saiyan. Someone that was going to be able to power up and put the beats by Dre. Now, I'm not going to lie. Frieza is not beating the Heights Challenge allegations. You are a little person. I'm not trying to hear that shit. This man Frieza once took the Dragon Balls in the Broly movie and tried to grow. And that's how you know that he is not someone that is worthy of being called a real man. Anybody that's shorter than 5'5" is not a man. And that's why I call this nigga girl all the time. But that's just the point. You see, once Bardock knew that everything was going to go south and that the Saiyans were going to be eradicated, he put his son Kakarot, or as we know him, Goku, on an escape pod. And something that I didn't know until I watched this movie is that Cooler saw Goku. And you're probably thinking, well, obviously, Shin, Cooler decided to, kill the escape pod. No Saiyans left behind, right? Wrong. This man Cooler got an arrogance problem. Talking about this man Frieza's the cocky one. No, you're the one with a lot of arrogance. Once he saw Goku, I knew that this motherfucker was a narcissist. Sir, are you on the ship? I think we see a Saiyan and he seems to be on an escape pod. On an escape pod? Coming out. tell you to stop calling me on my beat time? Sir, I'm sorry. It seemed pretty urgent. Damn it. It is a saying. Seems to be a small child. Let that little motherfucker go. Razor should have handled that situation. My little brother thinks that he's all that. Motherfucker can't even reach the cereal. Always gotta use the step stool or fly. Sir, are you sure that we shouldn't just kill him? I mean, literally, I could hit this button and he'd die right now at light speed. Motherfucker, did you just talk back to me? Zesty ass motherfucker. Take that tight ass fit off. Okay, sir, I'm sorry. And just like that, Cooler decided to let Goku go, which is probably, in hindsight, something he shouldn't have done. And later on, he does realize that he was an idiot for not blowing Goku up when he could. Back to present day, we see Goku, Gohan, and Krillin, and I guess Chi-Chi's there too. Chi-Chi's cool, I guess, or whatever. They're all relaxing, enjoying a regular day. And for some reason, Gohan has a dragon now. Dragon Tails, Dragon Tails. When the f*** did this man Gohan get a dragon? Oh my god, did Goku get it for him? Nah, it was probably Piccolo. You know, Gohan only gets gifts from Piccolo because that's his real father. So as all the Z fighters are just pulling out Max and relaxing, all cool. My bad. I for some reason channel my Fresh Prince of Bel-Air there. Cooler and his goons show up out of nowhere. I don't know why they decided to come to Earth. I guess they wanted to spin the block and get rid of Goku, especially after he found out that his little brother, emphasis on little, got smoked and put in a pack. I mean, right now, they are in heaven, smoking on that Frieza pack as we speak. I mean, literally rolling him up in a small blunt, emphasis on small, chilling like a chode, and they are inhaling him. Yes! Now, first off, Goku fights all of this man Cooler's goons, and they are on his ass, but he manages to dodge. Before we go any further in the video, though, I have to talk about their fits real quick. First off, let's talk about this big green guy here. Bro literally looks like a cucumber with football pads on. Bro, what are you about to do? Play in the Pro Bowl of veggies? Motherfucker trying to win a game to prove he's the best vegetable in a salad. And look at this brown dude. If you don't get your shitty ass, this dude literally looks like a extraterrestrial shit. And look how he can contract and retract his head. Pause. What are you doing with your neck like that? Bro, you know he slurped something up. I'm just saying. Bro out here dodging blasts by tucking his head in. Man, if his neck is that flexible, you know he doing something strange with it. I'm just saying. And then last but not least, we got this prima ballerina dressed ass nigga. Bro, if you don't get your zesty fit ass, man, come on, bro. Cloudmonth was like 4 or 5 months ago, guy. You out here on some straight zesty timing, man. I'm not gonna lie. I know you got your pronouns in your bio, no cat. Bro out here dressed in a leotard and shit. Alright, my fault. But come on, man. It's always these androgynous ass characters. Hey, it ain't nothing wrong, you feel me, with being a little feminine. You are sending messages in code. You know, LGBTQ and all that. You know what I'm saying? Your boy said fuck with y'all. But I ain't gonna lie. How you in Dragon Ball Z acting like this? Nasty ass man. Alright, my fault. So Gohan comes flying over, bro. Like the idiot he is. This man, Gohan, is always putting himself in harm's way, bro. Comes over and instantly gets eye-beamed by Cooler. So if Cooler sees him, all Saiyans must die. At light speed shooting this mother. But my man Goku got light speed reflexes. Stop playing with him. He jumps in the way and takes the hit. That shit came all on his back. Oh, that was quick. Hey, yo! Alright, my fault. Man, what the fuck? Gohan, go away! Why the hell are you coming over here? Where's your mom at? Chi-Chi, get him! Goku, shut your bitch ass up. I'm motion bitching. Alright, Chi-Chi, I'm sorry. Fuck up, little bitch. Man, I know these motherfuckers is not arguing in the middle of a fight. Oh, that's your son up there. Oh, about to kill this little nigga. Hey, Goku, I ain't gonna lie, the target lock will do. Once this dude Goku took that attack, for some reason, he's out of the count for almost the entirety of this movie. The rest of this movie consists of these trying to find Gohan, Krillin, and Goku, and them coming up with a plan to get Goku up. Now, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, my man Goku down bad in the cave, bro. Somebody get him some ibuprofen or something. Damn, bro, look at these dudes eradicating this entire forest looking for these dudes, laughing the entire time. Yo, these are the main culprits in climate change. You can tell they don't recycle. Look at these motherfuckers. I'm gonna blow
this forest up.
What the fuck? Man, why do you sound like that?
Oh my god. Stop asking me questions like that, silly Billy. I'm gonna blow this forest up, and then I'm going to murder Goku.
Oh my god, bro. Yo, I know that you just voicing this character sin, and my fault for breaking the fourth wall, but you doing a little bit too good of a job with it. I'm just saying.
Oh my god. It's just a video. Stop it, silly.
Pause! Once they blow this entire forest up and they made it look like a wasteland, I mean, literally it looks like no vegetation has ever been here. This is where Courage the Cowardly Dog, Mario, and Eustace live.
In the middle of nowhere, with the husband, Eustace, legs. But this thought I was in the middle of nowhere. It's up the cooler to save your new home with eyeglasses.
So Krillin finally finds Gohan and Goku, and they are covered up in rocks hiding in this cave, bro. Oh my god, I've been looking all over for you guys.
Hey, Krillin, your head's tiny.
You shut your bitch ass up, dog. Where's your dad at? I'm right here, Krillin. Krillin, can you give me a motion or something, nigga? I am hurting right now. Also, my phone's dying, and I'm missing my beat meat time. What's up with everybody beating their meat in this video? Krillin, what's beating your meat mean? Gohan, shut the hell up. Look, Gohan, I need you to go to the tower where Korin is, and I need you to get these damn senzu beans for your dad. Also, bring some lotion back. Motherfucker, your dad's been trying to beat his meat with his spit. His mouth's dry. Is beating your meat like when you go to the deli? Just go get the senzu beans, Gohan.
Is this serious?
This man Gohan gets on the Hayat Dragon and goes flying to this tower, bro. I am not gonna lie, bro. He finally gets here, bro. Starts climbing up midway, and I realize, man, you already know this man Korin about to be mad. He gets to the top Korin as soon as he sees him. Hey, little dude. Hey, you climbed up starting in the middle. Man, I told you stop doing that shit, man. You gotta start from the bottom. Korin, come on. My dad's dying right now. Motherfucker, do you think I care about your dad dying? You got me dying. Abort him. Get the fuck out of my face and go start at the bottom.
Oh my god, man. Stop that shit, man. Hey, Gohan.
Hey, Yajirobe, what's up, fat ass dude? My dad said your name's Titties.
Oh, damn, that's fucked up, son. Alright, man, look, man. I got these, man, I'm out of breath. Damn.
Motherfucker, all you did was stand up.
Man, come on, man. It's tough for me right now, man. My fucking knees hurt. Alright, go on here. Take these senzu beans. There's something missing. I got hungry earlier.
Man, if you don't stop eating my fucking food. So this man Gohan gets the senzu beans, and he's on his way back. The problem is, he ends up giving one of the senzu beans to the dragon, and the dragon, out of nowhere, gets a power boost, which Cooler's goons see, and they find this nigga. And oh no. As soon as they find him, they start beating the shit out of Gohan. They're passing him around like a high school cop. Bro, the big green dude grabbed the top of his head and was like, hey, what you got in that bag, old dude? No, I'm not giving you the bag. Motherfucker, do you know I will kill you? Oh, this bowl cut ass think he's slick. He starts squeezing this man Gohan's head and literally trying to murder him. But oh, it's a plane. No, it's a bird. No, it's your real father, Piccolo. Bro, Piccolo pulled up and started punishing these niggas. I am not gonna lie, bro. Started working them. As soon as he pulled up, Ricky. Yeah, stop playing with me and my son, bitch ass. Ricky. That's my dad. Ricky. I mean Piccolo. Nah, you had it right the first time. Yeah. What's up? Come here, little dude. So as this man Piccolo is punishing him, eventually one of the aliens grabs him and starts shocking him with what seems to be some like pink lightning. I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea what this is or what power this is. What I do know is this man Piccolo channeled his inner static. Shocked and he redirected that shit. Bro shocked him like he put his hand in a circuit breaker after drinking a glass of water. Doesn't really matter, bro, because he redirects it, punishes him, and he gets on the zesty dude's ass. Pause. That was crazy. So he's finally chasing after the zesty ass dude, and they get to throwing fisticuffs. Yo, that was
crazy. I'm too old. You know what I'm saying? Just because they start throwing them blows in the forest. So this man Piccolo is reaching all over the forest like Orochimaru, bro. Look at his arm. I forgot that Piccolo could do this. Bro, they gotta stop stealing my man Dragon Ball Z whole swag, bro. They be out here really like doing my man dirty. But the problem is this zesty ass dude got this like blade on his hand. Bro was out here using a goddamn lightning blade or something. Look at that shit, bro. He's cutting through entire forest, bro. Oh, you a lumberjack? Bet you want some lumberjacks. Yeah. Alright, my fault. See, none of that seems to work. Piccolo's still on his ass, and however, despite Piccolo being on his ass, Cooler shows up and one-shots him. Bro has some of the most powerful beams I've seen in Dragon Ball, bro. He is out here one-shotting Goku, one-shot Piccolo. That joint is out of pocket, bro. But Gohan finally ends up getting to Goku with the Sensu beams. The problem is, the zesty dude catches up and burns all of them. However, Yajirobe ended up throwing this man Gohan one extra Sensu beam, and he gives it to his father. Now you know that Goku is about to beat their ass, right? Because that's exactly what always happens. You feel me? The Z fighters lose, Goku gets back up, and it's up in his stuff knees. The zesty dude started reading Goku's power level through the cave, and it broke his scouter. Stop playing with my goats. Yeah! Oh, y'all thought y'all was gonna pull me down for the count? This big Kakarot, man. I swear to God, I'm about to beat all of y'all ass, bro. Cause you beat my criminal, bro. You beat my son. Oh, I'm glad you woke up, little dude. Are you looking for this dude right here? This is the back kid. Oh, out here looking like I got that watermelon last you happy. Yes, up in this stuff for him, bro. And this dude, Cooler, literally attacks Piccolo yet again, putting him in a goddamn, he definitely in a coma or something. But this man, Goku, watched Piccolo get punished, bro. Get cooked. He is so mad right now. The zesty dude even threw a punch at him, bro. He blocked it with his fucking face and deflected it like it was nothing. Told his weak ass to get on. Bro, I couldn't believe my eyes, bro. If I punch a man in the face and instead of anything happening, he eats it and then pushes my hand off with the said face I punched? Oh yeah, nah. I would have threw the white towel in, bro. I'm gonna keep it a Band-Aid with you. All right.
We have generations of low riding in our family. We're not sworn in or born in. And that's important to me because the Serrano legacy continues.
Suit up! Every episode of your favorite comedies. History. Obsessed with this. How I Met Your Mother. Modern Family. Oh my God! New Girl. We are doing this. Watchable seasons. Stream on Hulu.
I ain't gonna lie, my man Cooler is mad fire. But you know what's even more fire than that? Subscribing to the channel. Well, I ain't gonna lie, we halfway through the video. Y'all watching this gas and y'all ain't hit subscribe. Come on, guys. Man, I ain't gonna lie, if you hit subscribe right now, tomorrow you gonna wake up with $1,000 in your bank account and 2 bad bitches ready to slurp you up like a Capri Sun straw. I'm not gonna lie. But if you don't subscribe, don't turn on post notifications. Make sure y'all hit that bell, y'all. And don't leave a like or comment. You're gonna wake up tomorrow and be a bitch. And I know y'all don't want to be no bitch, bro. Because last time I checked, none of my subscribers are bitches. That's real life. All right, let's get back to the video. Well, finally, we are here. Goku versus Cooler. One of the most fire fights in Dragon Ball Z history, bro. I'm not gonna lie, these motherfuckers were scrapping from start to finish. I ain't gonna lie, at first, he started rocking this dude Cooler, hit him with the stomach shots. But this man Cooler was low-key eating it. Trying to figure out why he was so strong and how he defeated Frieza. The second he figured out how strong he was kind of whooping his ass a little bit. So they end up falling into this water. Now, I have no idea why they wanted to go in the water. Maybe they was dirty, or maybe they had some sort of urge and they want to go swimming. However, these motherfuckers was in there scrapping in the water. Oh, nah. Oh, look how this man Goku was really piecing them up underwater. Cooler said, yo, stop playing with me. Threw a blast at him, and Goku grabbed that shit. Hey, yo, this man Cooler said bitch on the water. Oh, he talented. So once we realized that this dude is entirely different, I ain't gonna lie, bro was underwater handling his own. However, Goku ended up hitting him with a combo and swung him around by his tail underwater like he's trying to defeat Bowser in Super Mario 64. Look how he swung this thing. Oh, no. So they finally get out of the water and they have a conversation in which Cooler tells him, respectfully, I'm different. I ain't gonna lie. I see why you beat my brother weak ass. So that dude can't get on roller coasters enough. Hated going to the amusement park with him when he was little. Couldn't even get on nothing, man. This motherfucker's so smart he couldn't even get on the teacups. On the teacups? Listen, man, there's a big difference between me and my brother. Well, two big differences. Nah, 3, my shoes better, my drip better, my car faster, my bitch better. Alright, my fault. 2, he gets no hoes and I do it. 3, look at me and look at his drip and it's trash. Also, I know I said 3, but here's a 4th. I have an extra transformation my brother doesn't. An extra transformation? What the fuck? And right then, this dude transformed and got big ass shit, bro. He is punishing Goku and laughing the entire time. Bro, punched Goku into the air, flew up and then double hammer slam, bro. Yo, that's a pause on the play, yo. A flicker effect. So this man Goku flew into him and immediately got deflected. Just swatted like an annoying fly. He even tried to KO Ken, bro. He went KO Ken and did the command man wave. Straight at Cooler. You know what Cooler did? He played it cool. You see what I did there?
Is this nigga serious?
Bro literally saw the blast and flew into it head first. Flew through it and put this Goku to sleep. Bro, we hit him so hard, Goku started recollecting about his friends that had already lost. I was like, damn, yo, how you gonna beat my man Goku like this? Damn, motherfucker done beat Krillin. Beat my son up. He damn near killed Piccolo ass. And here I am on the ground. Being a bitch. Then when I have to use this, that's the only secret weapon I have. Yo, Goku, you talking about Super Saiyan? Oh, by the way, son, I'm ready for a war. Nah, I'm not talking about Super Saiyan. I want to call the cops. Motherfucker, you call the cops? Oh, no. Nah, I'm just kidding, y'all. This man Goku got up and somehow turned into Jesus for a second. Used Super Saiyan 1 and healed a bird. I think the bird was dead or something. I don't even know. He brought that shit back to like, motherfucker think you Naruto, God. Motherfucker think he got the same just 6 flash. Man, oh, nah. But after he bring this dead bird back together and went Super Saiyan, bro, I'm not gonna lie. He started punishing Cooler bad. Now, the thing is, Cooler realized why immediately his brother lost. Super Saiyan is just too overpowered at that point. And he gets mad, distracts Goku, and then throws his supernova attack at him. I'm not gonna lie, bro literally threw an entire sun at my man Goku. Like, it wasn't a sun, obviously, but that shit looked like one. I ain't gonna lie, a little mini sun. So this dude Goku trying to stop, but that joint is big as shit. Look at him, bro. You know my man Goku be in the gym, bro. He definitely gonna stop this joint, and that's exactly what he did. He said, fuck that shit. He ends up deflecting it off and then shot a blast back into it. A command man wave that sent Cooler into space. Bro is literally getting melted on the sun right now. That is the worst tan ever. I know his skin hurts. Bro, I ain't gonna lie. If I was you, Cooler, I guess you have no choice. You're definitely getting smoked. No cap. Bro was getting smoked so bad, he started recollecting on the fact that he should have just killed Goku. Motherfucker was on there like, damn, if I had just shot that little fact that I wouldn't even be in this situation. Now look at it. Motherfucker dying, sun hit me. I ain't even getting no tan. This shit just killing my ass, God. God damn. And just like that, Cooler gets smoked to the sun. Never to return. Oh, there's a part 2, huh? Guess you guys gotta get some likes.
London, England is home to Buckingham Palace, the natural history...
Valvoline Full Synthetics offer 24 times stronger protection against engine-killing contaminants than the industry-leading synthetic to ensure your car still runs like new, year after year. Get 24 times stronger protection with Valvoline.
This game is bigger than all of us.
We eat in this family. It was crazy. And to be fair, a lot of the stuff, whether it's reasonable or not, that was on the first date list, I have friends who were taken on all of those first dates. You know what I mean? So they are happening. You know, I had a friend, dude took her on a first date to a buffet, and then they get there and she's like, oh, Okay, didn't know, but let's make the most of it. Brings the plate up, starts, making her plate very responsible portions. She gets back. He comes back 3 minutes later. He got a whole pyramid of food. It is crazy as he sits down and then he just starts pounding egg rolls. Like this man, like it's a contest, just nonstop. Egg roll, egg roll. Where you from? Egg roll, egg roll, egg roll, egg roll. What are your ambitions? Egg roll, egg roll, egg roll, egg roll. And then finally he choked, right? And this is the thing that I'm being serious for a second. Outside the dating stuff, just as us, fellas, as men, we have got to start chewing. All right, most of the choking in this country is us. Almost all of it is us. It's just men being happy and being like, "Oh, it's real good." Like that every day. That's happening to us. That's nobody's fault but us. It's our mouth. All right. So just please, bro, chew. Please chew. I'm begging you. Too many men are dying unnecessarily of delicious food and not paying attention. And so then he starts choking. She get up from the table, go around to his side, gives him the Heimlich. He spits the food out, sits down, and it's like, I can't believe that happened. Oh my God, thank you so much. You saved my life. I want to hear more about your job. I'm going to get another plate. I'll be right back. Did you learn nothing? One of my favorites, though. One of my favorites that I do agree with, that's on the list. Now, if you're not from this country, or you don't know what a Wingstop is, just know they don't have seating, okay? Like, almost none of it. If you're taking a woman to Wingstop, it's because she's a fugitive. It's like, baby, we got to get in and get out. I want you seen, you know what I mean? We on the run together. This was your scenario that you asked me if I would still love you. Just got 2 trash cans and some high-top tables. Because Wingstop don't want you to eat at Wingstop. Wingstop is like you order and you get the fuck out. I don't even want to look at you right now. Also, wings on a first date is chaos. That's a setup right there. You just want to make sure she's a hunter. What are you doing? I've had to delete some apps from my phone. My phone finally filled up. That's when you start making decisions. When you see that thing cannot be backed up on the cloud, you start being like, oof, do I need to know the weather? Like, and I had to delete the Citizen app. Yeah, no. If y'all don't have the Citizen app, I'm begging you, don't download it. All right? The Citizen app is insane. If you don't know what it is, it's an app that tells you what crimes are happening around you and in the city at large, which nobody needs to know. All right? The crime in New York is either happening to you or none of your business. Why would I get that app? Just to be the worst Batman ever? To try to stop crime on foot? Is that my plan? There's a robbery happening 6 blocks away. I get there out of breath. Don't do it. Oh. No. The only reason I even had the Citizen app is because I loved the headlines. Because people can self-report, they can tell you what's happening near you. And sometimes the police are not even aware of it. Sometimes it really is people seeing the thing, uploading it to Citizen, then the police come and all gets official and stuff. My favorite one that I've ever seen, and I have lots. Like, honestly, if you come to see me, I will be talking about this every set. I'm endless. But one of my favorites was man exposing himself at Popeyes. And I loved it because they said exposing. They use the present tense, which means the dick is still out. Like, the dick is currently at large. I mean, they're like, he doing it right now. Please hurry. He's swinging everywhere. He getting all the chicken sandwiches. Please send somebody. Did I follow that okay? Did I do a good job? Y'all be great. I'm Josh Johnson. Have a good one.
Mess with us. We're just harmless travelers. Well now, stranger.
Eh? I await you. Captain.
Magritte.
I await.
My greeting. My
Attack! Forward!
Stop there.